into an issue with my streaming, so I had to switch phones. So I apologize for that if you guys happen to see me on the other one. And now we're here. So I am actively getting stuff squared away. So with this, we are live on the stream, which is dope. We love that. Here's the things we're working on today. I have these are our cutouts, and I have a whole bunch that we're going to be working on here for our outdoor holiday displays. Now, these displays are made out of 1 or 1/4 inch OSB, which is plywood, right? And used a projector to project these images on here, traced them out, cut them out with a jigsaw. We painted them white a couple days ago, and we've started adding lights where we can to these. So here's an example of one, all right, that has got small little pine tree that'll be up in there. And on the back, you can see, this is what we're doing. We're just adding lights in here, okay? You can see I got blue and white lights, and I'll show you the version we're gonna be using. And I'm gonna be using a staple gun, simply just to keep these down. And that's what I've been using. Okay, so I've got, cool. I wanna have this up here, this extra phone, so I can keep an eye on the chat while I'm working, so I don't have to keep bouncing back and forth. All right, so these are the lights we're using, folks. You can see here. They are blue and white. These are just, we got these on sale, me and the redhead at Meyer. They were half off. Just happened to catch a sale. I think they were $4 each, maybe, not even that much, maybe $3 when they were on sale. We got a whole bunch of them. I think I got like 14 packs. It's a bunch. So the process here is pretty straightforward. Just kind of collect a pile of them up here. If anybody's ever unwrapped these before, you know how this goes. We're simply just going to be popping these things off, loosen up, and give them a good stretch, right? Because I need to go all the way around, and we'll start with this guy right here. You can kind of see our buck that was going to get done here after I do this dough. But we're going to come through and run the lights all the way around here, again, with the goal of having this backlit. Now, one of the things that you see with like holiday decorations in general is people tend to focus on having the lights on the front, right? So that's what people are used to seeing, the blinky lights and doing their thing. Well, this adds a different aesthetic because what we want to do is really highlight the design that we cut out, and the lights are simply just there, they say, to provide a backlight to this, not necessarily the lights themselves, right? We're not too worried about this, so. But yeah, it's a real straightforward process. It just takes time, like with anything, and I highly recommend anybody. Hey, welcome everybody. Good to have you on here. So when you're working on these things, what I always tell folks is take your time. Make sure you get more materials than you think you're going to need. I still have another 3 or 5 4x8 boards of OSB of the plywood. So that is already, in case I need extra, because I'm fairly certain I'm gonna need more just to make this look well. But I have an entire, as you can see here, I think in total right now I have 10 of these cutouts between the deer and like different sized pine trees. And like the goal, what we're gonna be setting up with here is there's gonna be hardware going on the back of these. They're gonna attach to the house, and they're gonna be offset in like a 3D pattern as well. So we're really gonna have this nice 3-dimensional, like a depth look going to these things instead of being flat. And there's YouTube videos out there you can see. Again, this is just an idea that I got from someone. So hopefully this is something that you guys find some interest in. So I can kind of walk you through the process here, bring you guys down a little bit. So you can kind of see what's going on. And I have my other phone here so I can keep an eye on the chat. So do me a favor, when you hop in the chat and you say hi, let us know where you're from. It's always great to hear where people are from when we're doing these things. And it's gonna be a little, now we're just gonna go through the process of stapling these all in here right now. So good to have you on. Hey lady, we are working on our holiday displays. So these are cutouts that I have. We're adding lights to the back end of this thing right now. And what this is going to do is allow for this, it's going to provide backlighting to this. So this, like, I know it looks white right now, but in the evenings when this is running, it'll actually be, you know, almost kind of dark here a little bit. But this is what we're gonna be working on. And it's a real simple process. I got some, you know, just got my staple gun here, and we're just gonna be going through, really just kind of running these lights, making sure, do everything we can to hide them behind the actual, behind the boards here. Because we have one over here. I might as well light this one up so you guys can see in the background, right? You won't be able to really see the full effect because it is a little bit dark here. It's a little bit light, but hopefully this will kind of give you an idea of what we're working with here when they're backlit. Okay, so we're gonna end up seeing basically like a little shadow is what it's gonna look like on here. Let me pull this guy off to the side. There we go. And like I said, this will be backlit and on the side of the house here. So that's what we're doing, just some holiday displays. All right, so let's keep on rolling here. Now, the official guidance for this is that you should be using a glue gun, which you absolutely can and should. And I do have one available if I wanted to use it. I just really don't want to. I've never been a big fan of glue guns. I'm really bad at it. I know it shouldn't be something like, you know, should have it mastered by now as an adult, but I sure don't. I sure don't. So we are going to do what we can to just kind of skip over that process a little bit. Okay. Like I said, we want to have the lights just kind of run around the backside, and we're just going to be following along inside here to add light. And again, don't stress about it, folks. Don't, when you start doing this, and if you decide you want to do this, don't worry about it too much. You know, end of the day, when it's dark out, this will, if you have a light that's aloft by a little bit or it's not completely in the right spot, don't worry about it. Because you will, honestly, it's going to be very difficult to tell. Just because of how light it is. Remember, it's dark out too. So you're going to be looking at a shadow is really what you're building here. But yeah, we were on the stream the other day while we were tracing everything out, working on it. It's a little bit early. You know, this is earlier than my normal streams, right? So we are just kind of working on them here a little bit. Because I've got later tonight, this afternoon, I got to meet up with a neighbor. She doesn't know how to, I'm going to teach her how to harvest the seeds from her wildflowers. Help her save a little money. She had a big old wildflower garden this year. So she wants to save those. So I'm helping her learn how to do that so she can, you know, save a little money. And if you aren't sure how to do that, I highly recommend it if you're interested. Plenty of videos on it, but it's really straightforward process, and frankly, it's one of the better things to be able to do. Save you some money, and also, if you really like your flowers, it's a great way to continue to save them so you'll have them for the future as well. Now, what's going to end up happening here, so won't have enough lights, obviously, to go all the way around and do everything. So we're just going to kind of get these close to where I can. And then have my next set of lights come in here. And just hop on it here. And that's to be expected, like I was saying. This is under no circumstances that I think I was going to have the right lights for, like this is going to be fit. Because these are all different sizes that they have here. Really, we're just going to come here, do our next one here. I'll just kind of bring this down here. And we'll get our next spot here. So again, appreciate everybody hitting the likes. Again, when you hop in the chat, please let us know where you're from. It is always exciting to kind of learn where everybody's from here. And one of the things you want to do also when you get your lights out here, just because they've been all, squished up for a while, want to give them a good stretch. So that's what we're doing right now. It's going to help get the lights all the way around this thing because they're twisted and, they've been in here for a minute. There we go. Now, I should be testing these ahead of time, so I think I will actually give this a quick test run here. We're going to plug both of these in to our extension cord there. Do this, and like I was saying, I kind of eyeballed what I thought I was going to need for lights, but chances are good I'm going to have to go back and grab more, which is fine. So I definitely recommend you guys use the inexpensive lights. There we go. There we go. So the big thing on here, right now, you're looking at the front. When this is done, or the back. When this is actually up, we're going to be literally flipped the other way, just like this one back here. And like I say, it's real hard to tell right now because of how bright it is in the garage. But once we get into the evening time, like I said, you will definitely be able to see how this backlight, how well that works. So these are both good. So we're just back at it, securing these down, make sure they're good to go. And then this weekend, probably going to work on getting these up. We typically don't get these things out until after Thanksgiving, but I may make an exception this year and get some stuff up this weekend because it's supposed to be pretty cold coming up here after Thanksgiving. So, hey, what's happening? Welcome back. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we're making progress here. Making progress. But things are looking pretty good. Hopefully you're having a good day here. It is. We're waiting on snow here in Michigan. It's starting to pick up. Thank you. Yeah, everything for the most part turned out really well. We're pretty happy with it. Yeah, on the tree for sure. And like I say, we got our deer here. I got pretty much everything cut out, at least for the first round. I got the second. The following rounds are definitely going to be a little bit more as we need them. Like I say, I've got enough to get me started here, and then we'll go through as we're putting it up. I'll make better decisions on, okay, I need, I need a couple more deer, a couple trees, etc. So we'll make that decision when that time comes. So let's go down here with this. But like I've said from the beginning on this, we're not going to overthink this too much. The goal here is simply just to get this out, have it look pretty, and not stress out, all right? Because we don't do that here. We don't stress out on this channel, not in the slightest. So, yeah, I was saying I did a few things. I don't know if I'd say it's lots, but I appreciate that. We definitely had a few things we had to take care of here, just to make sure we're staying on schedule. You know what I mean? So the wife and I, we got anniversary plans and stuff that I still gotta coordinate, and we got a trip down to New Orleans. So still got a few things we got to do, but yeah, we're getting there. So, like in the case of this deer, I'm gonna put these in here. Probably gonna adjust these later once they're up. But you can see, here's our deer. And again, what's gonna happen, just so you guys are aware. So we got this piece here. This is the side that's gonna be actually facing. This is the blank side is what's gonna be facing out towards the road. And then this side here will be facing towards the house, right? And so let's go back here. When this is plugged in, borrow my head for a minute. Really good at holding this thing up. There we go. So like I said, this will be backlit. Make adjustments to it. So you'll be able to see the outlet, and then this will be almost in relief against there. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to add here and probably here, we're going to add some wood that's going to be out probably 4-6 inches. That is going to keep it away, basically from the house. So it can be, like I said, be in relief. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, we're getting there. So that's 2 down. Let's go ahead and do some trees next before we get into our buck here. But even like this, I mean, just with the white into itself against my gray house, I think that'll look pretty cool. But we're gonna add the lighting in here just because the lighting, I think, is gonna be, it's a really nice touch. It does make all the difference when you're looking at it. So I got this, let me grow a big tree too. And like I said, we got cutouts of all different sizes here. So like in this case, we got big tree, little trees and whatnot. So, oh, hey, thanks, Don, appreciate that. Let me go ahead and connect this guy over so we can keep things lit here, you know what I mean? Gotta have the aesthetic going. Man, it definitely, it got chilly though. I can tell you that much in the, out here. I found the deer templates from, I just went online and found, basically just searched for, you know, deer outlines. That's where I found them. And I found line and asked line drawings of deer. And I used my projector on that. So, so MDF, this is plywood. Yeah. So it's OSB is what it is. And, it's 1/4 inch OSB is what I'm using. So we painted this up. Want to see how it does. See if I liked it, and if this ends up being a project that I really like. As these deteriorate over time, what we'll do is as they deteriorate over time, we'll replace them with something a little bit more, a little sturdier per se. But I think these are going to hold up for a while. It's definitely, you know, obviously they're out in the time of year where we're not getting rained on per se. It's going to be getting snow, no real rain issues, so it shouldn't be as bad. But so as we mentioned before, these are blue and white lights. I'm not sure how much the blue is going to pop or the white or whatever in the background per se, as you can see on here. But blue and white's the aesthetic that we use for our stuff that's outside the house. Okay. And I have it's pretty cool actually. I picked up a 50. So it's a great question. So I'll get to that question in a second. So a 50-foot extension cord that it starts at 10 feet. So it's every 10 feet. It has a connector so I can plug into these. So it'd be pretty nice. So, so on the back here, what I'm going to end up doing is once I get them in, they're going to be connected to the house in a couple spots. I have some keyhole hardware that we're going to use. I'm going to put some 2x4s on the back. They're going to lock them into place so they won't be like freestanding. So it's going to keep them from warping, from moving around too much. So that is what we're going to be doing. So, and the keyhole hardware will be nice because once I actually get them installed, is now once they're in the house, like the screws that I'm going to use to put them in there, the screws will just stay there year round. So, you know, when it's time to put them out, I just walk out and just attach them directly to the house where they're supposed to be at, and they'll be locked in. And then same thing for cleanup is simply just detach them and off we go. So it'll be a little bit of, you know, it's a little bit of work on the front side here, but for the next couple of years, it's going to save me all sorts of time. I think it's just going to be a better product and process across the board. All right, let's give these a quick test. Yep, lights work. Cool. Yeah, and the folks that put together like the tutorial per se on this, they highly recommended the keyhole attachments, so, or the hardware. So I think I picked up like a 50 pack off of Amazon for like $10. So that should help the cause for sure. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna really want to just focus. I'm just focusing on going around the exterior on this. Trying to get close, but not too close, so that way, you know, lights are gonna, you're definitely gonna be able to see the lights pop on this. That won't be an issue as we're coming along here. So, like I said, our goal here today is simply just kind of get these on, and then once they're up, I can make some, I can adjust the lights in the other spots where they're at over time. But I don't think it's going to be honestly that big of a deal. Everything I see on it looks pretty sharp. It's nothing that we really have to worry about. Oh, but yeah, this is my second, like basically homemade holiday display and everything like that. What we got here? Oh yeah, my neighbor has that. My neighbor has the, yeah, and it's like a strip, right? LED strip. It runs all the way around, like the framing or whatever, and you can just go on and adjust the colors and everything, right? Yeah, my neighbor Bob has that, and they do it for especially like around for like every holiday. There's a color code or a color combination. So like right now he's orange and blacking it up, or orange and whatever color for Thanksgiving. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I like that when he put that in there. I thought it was pretty neat. Yeah, W Bob for sure. Yeah. Again, my family, we're not necessarily, it's not our jam, but for what Bob does, like it looks pretty sharp. I'm pretty happy for him there. All right, so let's see this guy here. But it's good to kind of have this moving along. I can say that much. This has been a bit of an effort to get to this point, just because it's I've got, you know, business that I've been working on, so to have time. But you know, this last little bit has been great just to have a little free time to get out here and work on this. So again, for everybody who's joining, welcome. My name is Ryan. I am in northern Michigan here. We are working on my holiday displays, as you can see, and these are cutouts from my of plywood of OSB that have been painted with barn paint that we got from Home Depot, and we're adding just some lights to it right now so they'll be backlit and look pretty sharp on our go down here a little bit. So they look pretty sharp on what they'll be backlit, so it'll be a relief, literally and figuratively, against our house. Oh my goodness, that's wow. You go all out. Man, that's crazy. I mean, good for you. It is pretty funny how we've all kind of got, I'm gonna pull some of these up. I want to get this figured out. I should be able to do one of these across here. So let's learn something today here, guys. I think I'm using a bit too much on this side. I should be able to get this all done with one. All you have is a tree of 30,000 lights. Clark W. Griswold would be jealous. Happy wife, happy life. There you go. Yeah. That's a big part of this too. My wife really likes Christmas, so I want to make sure I got do a good display for her too, you know, so. I get that 100%. I don't think a lot of times our wives fully understand how much we think about them and try to do stuff for them. Not that they take us for granted in any way, shape, or form, but Don, I'm going to give us a little more credit than our spouses give us at times, okay? We'll just do that. So again, I'm just adjusting this back here. Not really happy with like the length. I think I put too many lights over here. One of these should cover the entire thing, so. we're just going to loosen this up. Probably starting, oh gosh, probably right here. So I got a few to do. You don't have a wife. It's too funny. Well, like I said, I married way over my pedigree. I know that one. So I don't mind spending a little extra time on stuff so she has a good Christmas, you know? That don't bother me at all. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. We're gonna do this. There we go. 36 years. Look at you. Go Don. We're getting ready to celebrate down in New Orleans. It's going to be year number, what year is it? It's 90, or it's 2025. So that's 90, what is that? 27 years for me and my wife. So your job is a game dev. Man, what country are you in, by the way? They have been cleaning house and game devs around here in the U.S. It has been I think they're even using the term bloodbath. I think it's appropriate, but they've been cleaning the house here in America. There we go. So I just want to be able to show you guys this. Okay, Northern Ireland, okay. I think you'll be fine, but yeah, they've been cleaning the house here. So what I did basically, I just ran this right along the outside. I don't want to fill up any light on the inside. I really just want it to the outside as much as I can. Some of the other ones I had to double up just because of the length. But for most of these, I should be able to get away with just going on the outside. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. So we got this guy here. And we're just going to kind of, I'm going to move this guy off to the side here. Man, I miss when it was like, gosh, trying to think here. It was 70 degrees the other day. Man, was that nice. Was that ever nice? Let me get some tea on here. So I'm in northern Michigan. That's where I'm at currently. Nice here in Florida. Yeah, I bet it's nice there in Florida, Don. I bet it's real nice there. Yeah, I'm trying to see, did we get snow start yet? No, and we should only be getting like a light dusting here. Shouldn't be anything crazy. We're looking to get dumped on at the first week of December, though. That's kind of the plan, is what it's looking like, at least the projection. Yeah, I used to live in Guam and Hawaii, so I had that really nice weather. 60s at night, 70s during the day. Oof. Yeah, when I was in Guam, it was 85 degrees and 80% humidity every day. Oh man, that was the life. It was hot and sweaty all the time. Yeah, you're gonna get ready to get some snow over there too. All right. So again, just gonna give this a quick test to make sure these lights light like we want them to. There they go. They made the light. Now, yeah, keep this. Yeah, matter of fact, even for me, you can have my snow too. There we go. We'll keep it in that spot. I appreciate everybody behaving on chat. Man, we had folks fighting on the chat the other day. I don't know if you guys were here the other day. I had a guy shut the stream down. I was like, come on, guys. No need for all that. We're not trying to do that here. There ain't no need for everybody getting upset. My goodness. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to kind of get out in front of this a little bit and reattach that guy right there. This one, this little guy can use like the whole, yeah. They're actually fighting. They're arguing over, they were just arguing over dumb stuff. I'm not even sure what it was, to be honest. Like I'm busy here working and I look over and they're like calling each other names and yelling at each other. And I was like, what's going on? So I couldn't even, and I didn't, and I don't have mods, obviously. I don't have enough folks for this thing. But so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop the stream and finish up off stream. I don't want to deal with that stuff. So obviously I don't think that'll be an issue here. Unless, you know, Blaze doesn't want to take our snow, then there'll be a fight that breaks out. Want to be a mod? Oh, you know, one of these days I'm gonna figure out mods for this. You know, this isn't my typical streaming time though. Like that's the other thing. I try to stream a little bit later, and then so that's gonna be kind of a thing. But yeah, no, trust me. If I'm able to get up to the size that I want to get, I'm absolutely going to be looking for mods and all the stuff that goes along with that just to help out. You know, it's always helpful. There we go. All right. All right. Just click the name and make them a mod, huh? Well, like I said, as I get closer, it'll be a thing. So I will absolutely be putting in folks who want to be a mod later in the day. So let's see, as you can tell, I am not a sophisticated streaming dude yet. I'm still trying to learn all this stuff here. But mostly I just love coming on here and just sharing some of the stuff I'm working with folks. I'm telling you, we got some of the folks have given me some of the best ideas to help out my garden, especially with the chickens too. I currently have a cabbage, an entire cabbage hanging inside the chicken run. If someone told me that the chickens will actually, and it's good for them, though, entertainment for them. So it's on a string hanging. I couldn't believe it. The chickens were in there last night, just like pecking away, having an absolute blast with it. I never would have thought of that. Never would have thought at it. Okay. Yes, we're making headway here. All right. Guess we'll do this buck now. This buck has been hanging out here peacefully for the last little bit. Let's go ahead and, so let's see, I've got one buck this way. So the other thing is I'm going to make sure, so the other thing is I'm going to be keeping an eye on which way I have the deer positioned so I can make sure I have, you know, I don't want to have all the heads facing the same direction. You know what I mean? I want to be able to change it up. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, right now, it's a weird time too, especially, I think we're in one of those transition phases when it comes to like streaming or, you know, whatever's going on with entertainment too. I don't think that there's a lot of folks, I think they get into this like for the wrong reason more than anything, you know? Like I'm here to connect with people, hang out, and, you know, I have my, you know, obviously I want to make a little money doing this, right? I'd like another revenue stream on top of this, but really I'm just here to connect with people. So, you know, like that's the biggest one. I just want to connect with folks. And I think that we have, especially on streaming right now, I have a feeling we're going to see less and less, you know, like with Facebook and a lot of other stuff that's going on right now, you see where that's dropping off in popularity. I think that's going to continue to be a thing where it drops off. And more folks are going to find their way to this type of thing where it's not a YouTube channel that's just being talked at. You get to interact in real time and do, you know, like streaming. It's, you know, my wife and I, we watch Twitch pretty much every evening, watch different streamers that are on there. You know, we're in our late 40s. And I just think there's more people that are going to end up being that way. That are just like, man, I really want to, I want to, do a hangout stream with folks, but I want to be able to interact at the same time. You know what I mean? And I just think I think for the most part, we're all kind of fed up with being spoon fed. This is what entertainment is, and this is your option. You know what I mean? So, yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, 100%. All right. So this one is going to be very similar on this. What I'm going to do again is we're going to run this all the way around the outside here. This is going to be a two string, a two strand piece here. So what I may end up doing actually is run this down around the feet and then bring it all the way back around this way. That might be the easiest way to do that. Or yeah, because we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll go around the butt. I'm going to go around the butt side over here. But yeah, so again, welcome everybody who's hopping on. Got a few people, new folks poking in the stream here. My name is Ryan. I'm actually a business coach by trade. Was working with clients today, as a matter of fact. One of my newest client, a one-on-one client that I have. She's a realtor. I'm getting ready to go buy into a brokerage, so we're working on some stuff here. And I come here though, typically I like to work in my greenhouse, which is so nice right now. It is warm in there. Oh, it's so nice in there. Had to stop, had my lettuce going in there. I've got new lettuce started. Green onions are doing the thing. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, please. Yeah, thank you for hitting that like button. Definitely appreciate it. Also, feel free to share this. If you know folks that you think might want to learn about some of these DIY stuff or wants to learn more about gardening, things like that, just to join in the chat, have them reach out, have them go ahead and sub. Be sure to send it to them. Okay. All right. Glad I'm getting to use up also all of these old staples that I had here. My goodness, I had a bunch of them. We're going to burn through them in this project, I can tell you that much. Only one in your group that likes stuff like this. That's all right. Yeah, as long as you got your crew too. Everybody's like, oh, cool. How many, was it a single bird house or was it a multi-bird? Did you make a multi-family unit or is it a single bird spot? Did you get in there, you? There we go. Multi-bird, nice. Nice. Yeah, I have in my garden around the perimeter, I've got multiple, I have a whole bunch of single bird houses in there. So, which has been pretty cool. It's really helpful. I like to have birds in the garden for sure. And it's always interesting to see who's going to move in every year because there's a bit of a fight that breaks out. Oh, nice. Carving duck decoys and fishing. Cool. Well, congratulations on the retirement. That's awesome. That's awesome. I too, technically I'm a retiree. I retired from the military, so I get my pension. But if you're full-time retiree, you're on a whole different level. So that is awesome. Love that. Said you always wanted to go fishing, blazing hunt. Fishing not an option in your area? I'm just curious. Oh, that's you two. You can't be that far away from the ocean where you're at, right? Just give it a go. One thing in Guam, so there was no fishing licenses. I love there. You could just go hop right in, throw a line in the ocean and get after it. I always thought that was pretty cool. So you'd see guys out there trying to catch tuna right off the pier and everything. It was pretty cool. Oh, you're too young. What do you mean you're too young to fish? Product of the 50s. I gotcha. Yeah. Well, 13, you should be able to get out there, get a line in the water. But I get it. Now, I grew up here, behind where you guys are at, where the the camera's at, about half mile that direction. We have I have a river called the Pier Marquette that I grew up fishing on, as well as other got that area. Plus, we had our other creeks, and we have, of course, I have Lake Michigan, which is just over there. It's huge. You are not too old to fish, not at all. Matter of fact, you should. That's really all you should be doing. You know, a little bit of work, duck decoys, but man, you should just have a line in the water, 100%. Do your thing. Do your thing. All right, so let's get this last one here. Cool. All right, let's just kind of make a mess of this. That's all right, though. I don't think it's a big deal if these antlers are all lit up a little bit extra. They look pretty cool from the road. That's what I'm going with. Okay, so then the last bit here. Let's get our next one connected. I'm glad I bought a bunch of these lights when they're on sale. I bought way more lights than I thought I was going to need, and it's going to turn out I'm probably going to need them all, which is okay then. All right. Sorry, quick tea break. So, trying to say, so last night, I just more shared anything. So I'm on our local school board too. I think I've probably mentioned this before on the stream. That good for you. Get out there and go do that stuff here. No, I love it. Love, love, love it. Enjoy that weather. Get out there when you can, while you can. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, I'm on my local school board. So last night we were at our school board meeting and whatnot, and local legislature here in Michigan. It just goes back to some of the stuff I've always been talked about here, is that the next level's up, right? So the place that staying fit as well. Heck yeah. They hit us with some new unfunded requirements that came down off of what the new legislature passed. So we're in the process of working through all those right now. So that's a bit of a mess, and so a lot of it was conversation with our folks that were showing up there for the meeting to be like, hey, here's what's going on, so that they could be educated on it. Man, their faces were not happy. But long story short is that the state of Michigan wants I hear that real quick. I hear that from a lot of folks. Yeah, no, don't. Yeah, not everybody looks like the meme. No, I get that. And I've known plenty of folks who are developers that they're, they stay fit, so no worries there. But so for our security guy that we actually have a deputy sheriff that's in our school. We have an agreement with the sheriff on, funding for it and all the stuff. And it was a state, actually, I may just go straight across here. Not too worried about that if it lights up a little bit. Yeah, I think so. Anyways, the state had funded it. Well, they added some new stuff to it where now, if we want to maintain our guy, we have to give up all these rights, and it's there's going to be a lawsuit involved here, but it's just so depressing. Something as simple as like we should be able to get have our security guy, right, and get the funding to keep our deputy in the school without really any sort of strings attached yet. Somehow the legislature found a way to say we should add these extra strings here just to be a pain in the butt. Oh, I don't like that. We're going to undo those two. Get out of there. Undo this one. I don't like the way that looks. I'm going to walk it back here. Well, it's good that you're staying fit. Do you, is there anything so you're just at the, you say you're at the gym? Yeah, go to the gym. Heck yeah. You're at the age you should be going to the gym too. Stay in the gym. One of the best things you can do. Stay fit, stay healthy. I think that's one thing I wish more folks took seriously was staying fit. Oh, you know, the guy, 47-year-old me, which is how old I am now, is very thankful for my time in the military because it kept me healthy. So now I'm at the point where, you know, we've got stuff going on that I'm in a healthy spot. You know what I mean? So that's good for you. Stay in the gym. Love the gym. Should be like your favorite thing ever. So let's put these here. What I want is that secured. Do our best to have these lights kind of off to the side. There we go. Ah, thank you. It's all the clean living and brown liquor I had in when I was younger. That's that. All right, so cool. There's our buck. Looks pretty good. Like I said, I got some lights over here. We'll tuck those in as we get closer and everything, but I think that's gonna look pretty good. All right. So I want to try to get a bunch of these, a few more of these done. Just a few more done. Because then after that, we are off to start working on this side here. So I want this side down this time. You right here. There. Our dough down there for right now. And a little pine tree. Cool. All right. Next two. Like we already kind of know, these are going to take 2 sets of lights, so we can already kind of plan this a little bit, which is okay. Let's go check the lights real quick. Yep, looking good, looking good. Oh man, I am smoked today though. Oh, I'm so tired. I have to go get some coffee here in a little bit. That tea just ain't getting her done. Now, one of the things too that I've just learned about this as well as going through this process is that, you know, this is definitely one of those projects that's tedious. It takes a good amount of time to do and just to do it right. So if you decide you want to take this on, just know this is not this could be done in a full day, but I definitely recommend give yourself a few days to work on it, kind of like I have. Just piecemeal it as you go along, because it does. Just trying to make sure. Yep, okay. Make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. It does take a little bit. It does take a little bit of time to do this thing correctly. I think it's going to be a worthwhile project. Oh yeah, no worries. Just take off, man. Go do your thing. No worries. Appreciate you hanging out. At the end of the day, I'm just on here to chat with whoever happens to show up. So it's always good to see folks, familiar faces on here. So I'm glad you're enjoying the streaming. Oh, new glasses. Good for you. I actually had a contact fold over on me yesterday, so I had to break out a new pair of contacts. That's always sad when that happens. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy them. Especially wait till you see me when I'm actually out in the garden. We're in the greenhouse. That's in my true element. This here, I'm just kind of faking. Out in the garden, the greenhouse is where we shine. So I'm definitely glad to have you on here. So and I hope your new glasses work out for you. Okay. And this one here, I got a little bit of a twist. We're just trying to untwist this here. All right, well, you take care, and I will see you around. Okay. Oh, okay, so you got some replacements in there. Good for you. You know, it's my mom, she had cataracts. She had to have that taken care of. She's a couple years older than you are. I'm hoping I will be able to avoid that myself personally. Rather not have to go through that, but if it is, it is, you know. Actually, let's do one more up there. There we go. There's only so much you can do, you know. I get that. Some of that stuff is definitely genetic predisposition for things. So I get that. I also think there's a big portion of it too. We've just gotten better, like with our overall health and just understanding of stuff we can work on as well. So I think there's something that's said to that as well too. When you're 50, okay. Yeah, she had hers done, I want to say almost 8 years ago. So that'd have been, you know, early 60s. Oh. Yeah, today was one of those interesting days too. So we're at the coffee shop. By the way, tomorrow, I believe. Let's real quick. I will be streaming from the coffee shop for a little bit. I've got to bag some coffee up. We have our new. It's that time of year where I've got to get some. All the fish, the hunters are in, plus the folks that are there for the late season fishing are going to be in town. So we have a blend that's called Tight Lines on the Pier Marquette. So and that's been selling a lot of it. So got to rebag those things up. I know so the coffee streams are always fun because we get to talk about the coffee as well. So if you're interested on coffee, yeah, that's what I was saying. From what I've heard too, it's relatively common. I mean, was that Mr. Beast? Jimmy, he went and did a whole bunch of cataracts fixing for folks in Africa. Somehow he got crap over that. I think people just wanted to complain, to be honest. But all right. Is that one there? So yeah, I guess it is pretty common now I think about it. It makes sense. But yeah, the coffee stream. So if you guys haven't been on one of the coffee streams, definitely check it out. We'll go through, I actually grind the coffee, or if it's whole bean, obviously we just bag the whole bean, but it's pretty interesting just to kind of go through the process. You get to learn about our coffee that we have. So it's a lot of fun. And it's warmer. You started falling apart. I hear that from so many folks. That's kind of the deal. We've only got a certain number of wake ups in each one of us. So, we're all going to be at that point. At some time, Actually, let's get you over here. Is that? There we go. Oop. Gotta fix this guy right here. There we go. Let go. So there we are. Cool. All right. Oops. Okay. Make sure we're still on there. Okay, good. Bring you over. So I want this one lit up on this side. This side gets the lights. Okay, so I need 2 more of this. That bag's done. Let's clean up real quick while we're going through this. Clean as you go, folks. The first things I learned in the military was clean as you go for safety reasons. Used to work on bombs and missiles, and the last thing you really want to do with those is get a bunch of crap all piled up in one spot. Tends to make static electricity, and from what I understand and what I've learned is that bombs and missiles don't really like static electricity. They tend to blow up. It's weird, like. Oh, 5 surgeries on your knee. My goodness. That is a bunch. Well, I'm glad they got you fixed, though. Trying to convince my mom to have knee surgery. She's been fighting me. Doesn't want to get it done. Trying to convince her that it's a quality of life thing. Got to have that part squared away. All right. Let's get this guy. Let's get this girl, I should say, going. But first, let's check. Lights. Cool. Oh, I'm certain. Well, with 5 surgeries, I imagine it is a long story. I would imagine that. Again, for folks that are just hopping on, great to see you all on here. My name is Ryan. We're just working on some, on my holiday displays. These are cutouts done on OSB. It's a type of plywood. They've been painted up, and now we're adding lights to the back side of them. So that way, when they light up, it's going to be backlit. And what we'll see is in relief. You can see where I've got the one deer is backlit currently. Kind of hard to see, obviously. We got a lot of light going on in here, but when you have a group of them together, so we'll have this deer with a buck with pine trees in one spot. It makes a nice little backlit scene. Yeah, makes for a good time. So there's that. All right. Back at it down here. So yeah, so we're doing Thanksgiving at my house this year. Talked with my mom, got to coordinate what food she's going to bring. I typically do most of the cooking. And that's simply just, I enjoy cooking. So we're going to, need an extra staples. So we got to figure out, she wants to bring some stuff, and then from my coffee shop, I already placed my order for croissants. We do these really, really big croissants there. So I'm going to do a half dozen of those so we can have some goodies here, some good quality croissants for Thanksgiving. going with my partner Lisa on Thanksgiving Day. We're going to be making coffee and have it be open basically for people to come get drip coffee and pick up their croissant order, which we think we had a lot of people ask last year if we were going to be selling our croissants for the holidays, and this year we're ready to go. It's going to be all right. So there's that. And again, you'll see more on the coffee shop tomorrow when I'm there doing that work. I tell you, we had, oh gosh, how many people? We had, I think, almost 6,000 on the on the stream the other day when I was, and it was the evening time, so it's expected I'm going to get more folks here in the U.S. right as you get later in the day because they're not, everyone's at work right now at school. All sorts of folks hopping on there because I had like the projector going and I was doing the outline, so it was really just kind of catching everybody's stuff here. Turkey Rod Run Daytona. Look at you with a rat rod. Living your best life out there, Don. That's what I'm talking about. I like the fact that there's folks out that are like you out there that's your thing. You guys know what you want. You know what you want to do, and just it's there for you to go do it. I think that's pretty cool. So good for you. I'm a garden dude. There's mechanic people. So that's one thing. Also, it's been nice. I think it's just been a nice change in the culture too, where not everyone has to do the exact same thing, or you're not in the cool kids club, right? Where now you are more than, if you want to do whatever, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, obviously, but you're free to do whatever it is you want to work on, which I think is pretty cool. Because growing up, it obviously wasn't the case. But we've definitely evolved, thankfully, from that towards a much better situation. All right. There. Okay, so one's there. Let's get our next one going. Good. You got to stay moving, right? You stop moving, you start hurting. That's my mantra. I mean, it's legit too. If I stop doing stuff, sit around too much, my back starts hurting too much. Gotta stay active 100%. I'll be interested to see how much, if at all, these blue lights even come into the calculus at all for this. I have a feeling it's probably not going to be much of anything. I think it's going to be a big fat nothing burger. Like I really won't even be able to see the blue lights all that much. That's what I have that feeling. We'll see if my intuition is correct though. So the rat rod, is that something you bought or did you do that yourself? A lot of folks are the mechanic people that like to do those things themselves. Nice, get on, get moving. Oh, you built it, cool. Is that something you always want? Have you had it for a while? Is it something you always wanted to do, or where did the idea of doing that come from? That's pretty neat. All right, so we got a little extra lightage here. It's fine. Okay, so you like those older ones. Okay, you know what you like, so good for you. I like that. I like that a lot. It's always one of those things where I run into people all the time that they haven't really spent a lot of time figuring out what they like. Like they're more worried about what other people like or think and do, and it's like that's no way to go through life. Find what you like and just own it. Don't worry what everybody else thinks, you know? So that's cool. I like that. There we go. Look at this guy. Cruising here, guys. Got our dough. Looking all good. All set. All right. Well, got a little bit more to do here. So I got 3 left and 3 trees to go. So I got 2 big ones and 1 little one left. Let's get these guys done. So good to see you. Welcome everybody. Good to see you all hopping on the chat here again. My name is Ryan. We are building out my holiday displays. We're currently in the process finishing up our last first set. So I've got this set of, so many totals is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got 10 pieces here. Probably going to end up with close to, yeah, that's a lot. Man, that is, where's that? There I am. Oh my goodness, Don, that's a lot of stuff. That's legit. That transmission, good Lord. Oh, I wonder what your tire budget's like, because I know you're not leaving a lot of rubber on those things. But anyways, folks, as I was saying, we are in the process of doing up my holiday displays here, and these are going to be attached to my house, and they're going to be offset just a little bit, which is going to allow them to be backlit. And what we're going to end up with is these outlines that you can see here are going to be in relief. All right, so we got deer and pine trees. So it'd be nice little winter scenes that'll be there in addition to my other Christmas trees. I have a different type of outdoor display. So these would just be in addition to those, which would be pretty nice. We like that a lot. This would be a nice change of pace for the neighborhood. Okay, now with this though, we're gonna learn from last time. We're gonna make this guy fit from the beginning. Right, because we wanna just kind of stretch this around a little bit. So I need to make sure that this will make it all the way around. So we'll do one more right here. Tendency with this where it didn't kind of stretch the whole way. So yeah, I say, bet you go through tires often. All right. Okay. Put this blue one at the top. I just need to stretch this guy all the way down. Oh yeah, we're gonna be golden. Up here just a little bit. Getting dangerous here, guys. It's almost like I know what I'm doing now. Just as we're finishing up, isn't that always the way? All right. cruising. Let's place this guy right here. Oop, maybe not. I'm gonna place this one back. We'll actually put these up here so I can kind of see them all done up here. This one here, which is next. What's this here? Why do women tell men to grow up? Is that a joke? I don't know if that's a joke. I don't know the answer to that one. So I haven't. My wife's never told. I don't think my wife's ever told me that. So hopefully that's a joke. But I don't even know why they want us to grow up, anyways. If that's the case, if they're saying that, just be happy we're there. You know, being young and hanging out. You know what I mean? Having a good time. As long as everyone's, you know, food, water, clothing, shelter is all taken care of. Have a little fun. You know, ain't hurting nobody. When you get in your old car, well, I think maybe that's just she's just razzing you, probably just razzing you a little bit. You know, get that from my wife. You know, that little bit of razz, which isn't the worst thing. Keeps me on my toes, right? Yeah, gotta keep. Yeah, I was saying. So, you know, you got a good woman when she keeps you, and she keeps you on the straight and narrow. You know what I mean? So I think for most of us, and I'm present company included, to include myself in this. You know, my wife does help me keep my attention pointed in the right direction. I'll say that much. So, a little shout out for Red doing good work, keeping me under control. I'll say under control, but at least keeping me focused. Come on, guys. You can do this. Oh, it's right here. Oh, out of staples. Go figure. Last one and out of staples. Who'd have thought? Cool. All right, we're going to do this last one, guys, and that's going to be the end of the stream for today. We'll take a little look at the cast of characters behind you, and we're going to call it for today. Got a little bit of work I got to go do. Got some client stuff I still got to take care of this afternoon, and I need some coffee. All right, let's get this last bit over here. There we go. All right. Well, let's take a look. We'll go place this over here. Maybe you guys can kind of see. I got a whole bunch of trees and kind of got the offset here a little bit. Give you an idea what it's going to look like. So I'm going to swap this around. So again, this is a big part of what you see. See, we want to have this little 3D effect. So when these are all backlit, you know, you'll have this lit against the tree. And then you can just see what we did here with the lighting, the backside for the deer. Absolutely. Hey, it's good to have you on here, Don. So with that, typically it's Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays are when I do my streaming. So again, if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up on your way out. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you like garden work, if you like stuff, you know, DIY, whatever stuff going on, be sure to hit that notification bell so you know when I come live. All right. Take care. See you guys next time.